All right. Sounds good. I will try to. Okay, let me see if I can share this one. I never muted myself, so you can actually still hear me. So hello to, well, no one as of yet. Okay. Um, okay. Yeah. Okay, so hello, and hope you've made the transition from our previous game over to this one. We don't have much of a turnaround because the Sheep D game in our last one got very exciting. Hello, everybody. I'm the voice you've been putting up with for the first game, and I'm the voice you'll be putting up with for the second game, and I'm the voice you'll be putting up with on Sunday. You'll get a break from me for after this draw on Friday, and then you'll get a break from me on Saturday as well. Here with the wizard of the webcast, Ken Clark, while Andy is finishing up. Yep, that's all right. We already have a rock in play on sheet A. These people are pretty quick. We already got a rock and play, even though we have not yet, we have not yet even finished sweeping on sheet D. All right, I will quickly run through who's who, just the teams at the moment. Well, there's only one person on right now, so I'll wait till we have more people watching. As we have people sweeping a rock on sheet A, and Bruce Black sweeping the sheet on sheet D. So, well, all right, we have 3 people watching now. Thank you for making the transition to this one. So, quick run through. Blackhawk CC from Blackhawk, skipped by Nancy Zalitas. On sheet A, playing Team Rudd from Philadelphia/Butts County. That is skipped by Deanne Rudd. Our feature game also has a Butts County team. That is Team Kirchner, skipped by Christy Kirchner. Then Jersey Pinelands is their opponent on sheet B from Jersey Pinelands. Deb Kingsland is their skip. On sheet C, Team O'Connor from Butts County, skipped by Martha O'Connor. Then Bemmy's Bees from Chesapeake, just across the bay from us. That's Sandy Bemis, or Bemmy's. Haven't had a chance to ask. I had no time between between streams this time. And sheet D is Team Sharp from Jersey Pinelands, skipped by Jane Sharp, versus Team Brockman. I will avoid making a ton of Simpsons references there. From Butts County, skipped by Amanda Brockman. Our feature game is about to get underway. I can tell you that the red team of Team Kirchner has Hammer. They have not marked it on the screen, but we get a nice little shove there on the opening delivery from Deb Kingsland for Jersey Pinelands. I think that's likely to go through. Or it might stick around in the back of the 12, and it does. On sheet C, Team O'Connor has some interesting stuff on the backs of their front and backs of their shirts. Trying to see what's on the front. They have variants of their names on the back. On our feature sheet, the first delivery from Mary Fannin for Team Kirchner is another one of those that, you know, it looks kind of heavy, but it is going to get into the forefoot. So 2 lead stones into the house. You don't always see that. At least not intentionally. I do it unintentionally all the time. When Andy gets back, I will take about a 5-minute break. This one has an awful lot of rotation on it from Michelle Bade from Jersey Pinelands. But I think the weight is okay. And it is going to stop right, oh, just past the button. So, kind of an unorthodox delivery there from Michelle Bay, but it seems to be working. So, and again, I'm the last person who should talk. And welcome to our 5 people. Feel free to identify yourselves and say where you're from. I'm guessing we have a few people watching from Butts County and Philadelphia and Jersey Pinelands and Chesapeake and all those wonderful places across the Chesapeake and up I-95 from us. As we have the second delivery from Mary Fannin now. This is the last of the lead rods in this end. And that looks to be a bit of a guard. It's not quite guard, it's guarding maybe half of it. It'd certainly get to it from the inside. Erin Klim, who has a ton of pins on the back of her shirt, looks a little bit like a bulletin board I made at home with all the pins I got from visiting 4 Olympics. That was the high point of working for USA Today. The low point was everything else. Just kidding, if any of my old bosses are watching, but I'm guessing they're not, except possibly for one boss who I really liked who was really into curling. Erin Klim is, well, if she's targeting the red shot stone, she's probably missed unless it curls quite a bit here. We did have, in the first game, there were a lot of people struggling with the straightness of the ice a little bit, and I'm wrong. She got the red stone out of there and didn't quite keep her shooter, but that would have been gravy on that shot. Julia Pring with the first of her second shots. Again, Team Kirchner from Butts County in red, or throwing red stones, has the hammer. Actually, a couple of them are in red, just to make it easier. Got a stick delivery on sheet A. And this is trying to bury this under guard and make it, they'll bury it under guard, but is it shot stone? I don't know. Ken's eyes are usually better than mine for that.
Yeah, that's definitely red shot.
That's definitely red shot. All right, I'm going to hand my headphones over to Andy so that I can take a break for a second. Here you go.
Playing musical chairs.
Nice shot there, nice weight control, just enough to push the red through the rings. And seeing 3 yellow right now, but none of them particularly dangerous positions. And red does have hammer, so they're going to go after the front one, which is partially buried. It's about half under the red guard here, so won't be a huge weight, maybe a hack weight shot. Skip says it needs to curl right now. It's starting to go. Looks like they're going to get close. Oh, nicely controlled shot there. Doesn't quite remove the yellow though, but rolls the red into a useful position with some backing. So red is shot, so I'm going to ignore the red though because a little tricky to get at, and just draw behind the red guard. Plenty of room to lie shot underneath the guard. So looks a little tight for a line out of the hand. Not touching it yet though. And I think it will touch the guard, bounce off. It does roll into the rings, so you know, all those little yellows around the 12 foot could start to matter later on. But still, it's like draw to the open side, sit 2. Just need to keep it in the full 8 if you want to be second shot here. Be careful you don't let it over curl. So probably won't be fully under the red guard. It's still in play, but you move quite a bit over. You can tuck a piece of it, but main thing is to sit 2. But this definitely isn't going to curl to where they want it. Maybe a little heavy, and backed right off this now. And I think it's going to go right through. So it'll be interesting to see whether they decide to go after this lone red now with 4 yellows around the rings and nowhere really obvious to draw to. So punch the red out sideways, definitely available. And I think they are going after it. And I think the thrower is just indicating they want to come from the other side, a bit more natural. And it's available from either side, but certainly a little bit more natural this way. If they do this right, they'll sit 5. And I think they probably need to start sweeping that. Looking pretty good. It's gonna go right on the nose. Might just jam in the back though, but moves it far enough. Could have swept a little bit to hold the line and maybe avoid the jam there, but still pretty good. Sig 2. Now we might see a freeze attempt. Try and corner freeze the T-line yellow on the left-hand side. Well, a little bit more weight coming in, so perhaps trying to play the hit and roll instead. And sort of in between here, gonna just clip the top one and roll over, take out the back one. Good shot in the end.
Yeah. End up sitting 2 from that. One little turn.
Could I get a Coach 0, please?
So good result there. I think maybe not quite how they'd drawn it up, but sitting 2 red in the end, so be pretty happy with how things are. And the center is completely open. They have the hammer, so in a good position, not going to be put under too much pressure. Worst case, they'll definitely have a shot to score. And looking at picking up a multiple score at this point, so.
And to quote David Lee Roth, I heard you missed us, we're back. Or in this case, just me. Andy's been here the whole time. And we still have Ken helping us out. trying to catch up to where we are live, and there we are. All right, so we have 6 people. Let yourself know. Let yourself be known. Let's hear from you. So we have the first is Skip Rocks. There's Skip Rocks from Ted Kingsland for Jersey Pinelands. And again, we're taking teams at their words, so they haven't messed around with their orders as this one goes through.
Yeah, freeze attempt there, just 4 feet too heavy. Not easy. Don't practice throwing to the back ring a lot. Typically, you're throwing to the top 8 or the tee line. Got a little adjustment to go back 8. It's not as easy as it seems.
What is this practice you keep talking about?
It's a hypothetical thing that I've heard that some people do.
I know the Clausen brothers do when they're here, but
Absolutely, and in all seriousness, it does make a big difference if you do have the time. I mean, I know a lot of us don't, and myself included, but you know, if you can make it out once in a while and just throw rocks, it does wonders for the technique and consistency. But of course, you know, all busy, not so easy.
I did come out on a Wednesday once and threw about 40 rocks, and that was my next game. I was much better. The game after that, I reverted to the mean.
Right.
So
Yeah, keeping it up is difficult.
putting one in the center, and a nice spot there, because if Jersey Pinelands hits this, they will still be sitting third.
Yeah, perfect spot, really.
Yeah.
Exactly where they wanted that, I think.
I think so.
So maybe no choice but to draw around everything, which is not very inviting, especially in the first end. And just not a lot of great options here. Could hit one of the other reds and then kind of resign yourself to giving up 3 potentially, and that's not very appetizing. So giving up 2 would be fine. Take that, I think.
Deb Kane's one of the curlers out here using a stick delivery. Usually the sign of an experienced curler.
Well, he's going for the draw. He's got to get around the red in the top 12 and try to cover up, but I think it's going to over curl.
Yeah, this is going to hit not the guard, but the one that's in the. Okay. Well,
so already sitting 3, and then just a draw for 4.
Yep.
And a dream start for, assuming they make the shot, of course, but it's pretty wide open. And to flip them, you see those options? Yeah.
all right, while Andy is assisting some of our spectators in the warm room, flip the cameras around. Here comes the hammer. Sweeper's throwing it right away, which shows how much I know. I thought it looked a little bit heavy out of her hand. And I'm definitely wrong. This one is having to work on this a bit to get it. They need it in the, touching the 8-foot. Quite a haul here by the sweepers, and are we going to see the measuring stick for the first time today?
Yeah, I can't tell. It kind of looks red, but it's hard to tell with the camera and angle and lighting. Oh, I guess they decided. So either 3 or 4 red there.
And we'll know shortly. Quick updates from elsewhere. Team on sheet C, Team O'Connor from Butts County has taken a 2-0 lead. I don't know whether that was a steal.
Okay, they're putting up a 4 on sheet C here.
Yeah, I decided it was for no measure.
All right, so Butts County Team Kirchner up early, and on sheet A, The team with some players from Butts County also has the lead. Team Rudd has taken a 1-0 lead. You have not missed a rock. We have not yet started our second end. All right, the first delivery looks to be putting up the center guard, and it looks to be pretty good. Might drift a little bit to one side of the center line, but that's nitpicking. So that's pretty good. Looks like an attempt to draw around. It looks heavy out of her hand, but again, I've been wrong. This sheet, I keep thinking things are heavy, and they are not.
It's getting close to the guard. I think it might be just around it.
I think so.
And if it sits down, it's going to be an excellent shot. Really good.
It is. Just about 100% buried. I can't tell if we have a score update on sheet D or if someone's broom is just sitting in an odd angle. This shot for Team Kirchner is one of those guard/draws we're talking about, which has been unfortunate because they're not shot right now.
Yeah, staggered as well with the rock in the top 12, so neither of them can be run back. So even less appealing.
On sheet D, that does indeed look like for Team Brockman in the first end. There is a broom covering part of it, but it does certainly look like, yeah, that's certainly where it has to be because the next number up in the line is 2. This one is not going to make it across the hog line.
So they're actually going after the shot rock here. I think I heard them say backline weight, but it appears to be overburied from here. So more likely they're going to tick the guards over, which I think they would also be fine with. The angles for the guards are really not good right now, so anything that moves them is going to improve the situation. So they are going to...
It's going to tick the guard.
And I think they'll be happy with that. The yellow's now open. 2 reds in the rings. Well, yep, 2 reds in the rings.
Yeah,
just. So they'll be pretty happy with that outcome. So choosing to guard the shot stone. Not a bad call, certainly, but top red, something to be careful about. It is available to be promoted. Something to keep an eye on as the end progresses. What happens to that red that's in the top 12? this guard, really hanging out wide at the moment. Looks likely to promote the red or even go right around it.
If they get lucky, they may, well, no, that's not lucky.
Just too much weight on that one. I think it was intended as a guard, so an overthrow, and then just never took any curl. So a chance to get at the shot rock now, and I think they'll take it. Just a question of which way to come. I expect a fair bit of weight here. It's not a huge port to come through.
They're going to be going right to left. Of course, not much if she throws the weight that they wanted, which she certainly did. This is going to be very close to that guard on the right. Not quite there, but it does open up the yellow. I'm guessing yellow will turn around and try to guard that once again. Yellow, the team from Jersey Pinelands.
Yeah, absolutely, and still got to be a good one, or it'll be another opportunity. A little bit of risk playing this guard. If you imagine you make the perfect guard and then the opposition make the promote on the red, they can sit 3 and then probably undercover, but certainly easiest place to guard your current shot, and
It's going to come into the house.
may end up slightly overlapping this red, which could be a pretty good result. It's actually an excellent position.
It really is.
Not fully covering the shot stone, but it covers the inside of it. So you cannot hit and roll underneath, I don't think. It's very difficult.
Well, that's the call. We shall see. This is Deborah Martin, the vice for Butts County. I believe we've seen her at a couple other box fields here.
It's definitely available to hit. Most likely will end up rolling away.
This needs to curl, but it has just light enough weight that it might, and it is. And it should get past the guard. I think it's going to hit. It's not going to, it's going to roll the other way, as you suspected. Actually take out their own red at the back. But now they're in a position where if they could, depending on what yellow does here, of course, red, Team Kirchner could hit their one at the top of the 12 and make the yellow one go away.
Yeah, absolutely. Something to be watchful of. And most likely they'll try and put another one in there first. Although I do wonder, they're lined up, they come close to the red on the side, but it might go underneath it. Meanwhile, this might change the situation. Looks like it's going to hit the top stones, rub off. I don't know where it's going to go. Well, certainly shifts things around. Yellow is shot, but wide open, and wasting no time going for the hit on this. Not a huge amount of ice taken. It seems like it's running quite straight on this side, and we saw that in the last game as well. Some straight spots.
Not sure if we've given you the update from Sheet C yet, but that would be 2 for Butts County and Team O'Connor. Butts County represented on all 4 sheets right now.
So very quiet weight coming in here, but right on line. So it's going to be an excellent shot.
Certainly is. Line 3 now, I think. No, 2.
2.
2. And the other yellow in there is wide open, so this is a shot they really must get.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the same position they were in last end. Lots of red accumulating, and a lonely yellow, so this one looks like it's gonna overcurl and promote the red stone. A little bit heavy as well. Well, almost knock
It's
it
gonna
all the
knock
way
it through the house, though. So
So no harm done on a useful stone at the top of the house. And so at first wondering whether to straight draw and then deciding they can remove a yellow and get underneath at the same time with the hit and roll. So kind of like this call. Remove the yellow and put yourself in a good position. The two reds on the left-hand side of the house, definitely a double available there, so have to be a bit careful. Can't rely on those. As we see, skip a little left-handed delivery. Makes a small difference. Sometimes can be a little helpful. But this one, first hanging out a little bit, but didn't throw a ton of weight, so has the chance to come back.
It's definitely going to curl. Is going to hit with enough weight to, is going to avoid the jam at the back. I don't think so.
Just pushes it through.
Still gets out of the rings. Well, Ken, are they line three? Ken's usually a better judge than I am.
Yeah, that's 3 red at the moment.
Yep.
Meanwhile, my phone sent me a notification telling me I could watch the Potomac Curling Club live on stream right now. So
Let's do it.
thank
What are
you
we
to
doing
my
here?
phone for letting me know.
Draw behind appears to be the call.
Yeah, I thought so too, but then I saw the vice gesture for what looked like hit and roll, so we'll see if that's the case or not. We'll know pretty quickly from the amount of weight thrown.
Looks like a considerable amount. And they're sweeping it right away. They certainly need to hold the line here, and I don't think they're going to. Yeah, this one's going to go all the way through.
So sitting 3 already, no real need to hit anything. Just put a draw to the top 12 area, block off the out-turn draw for the opponent. And then there is the yellow tap that's going to be available, and fairly short tap to score if nothing else works. But against 3, of course, not very inviting.
Certainly looks as though a draw behind is the call.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could sink this just into the top 8, it would be perfect. Even in the top 12 is just fine. And I think it's there. Sweeping hard, but they can take a breather. It might come a little deep. And, well,
they really were trying to get that deep. Which,
yeah, I think they may have changed their minds on the fly there and try and come deeper.
I don't think they wanted the 2 next to each other because it's too easy for a double then.
Right, absolutely. So did get some separation. I think in some ways it helps yellow because now you've got some backing to come to if you want, or it's easy open hit. into the 4-foot.
Yeah.
So even though they now lie 4, not 3, doesn't really help them.
Yeah, I find that very curious because this is the only shot left is the hammer, and they have provided a nice bit of backing, a nice little target for this draw.
From the ice tank, it does look like they're going to just go for the draw down to the backing. The safest call, I think.
Well, I see them putting up a score on sheet A. I think, didn't they?
They may have.
Oh, maybe not. Might
No,
have been
this
my
is
imagination.
no. This is
Oh,
they're
sorry.
still in the.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they have. It was 2-1. That was a steal for Team Rudd.
So as long as you throw good weight here, you will probably not give up more than 1, and you very well may score. Just got to put the Reds out of your mind. Throw a T-line draw.
This looks pretty good if they can get it to curl a little bit and keep its weight.
And it just might not curl. Weight was very good. It's going to be very close.
Yeah, they only don't need
And
to
they
move
did.
it far, and they moved it enough.
Yeah, nice throw.
That's one.
1 yellow.
A nice confidence booster. Draw against 4. Make the shot. Always feel good about that.
So while we're waiting here for a second, I do have pictures that I just got loaded. So here's our Jersey Pinelands team that's on our feature sheet, and I didn't get a picture of the other team yet. It's always hard to get a picture in the first draw because people just show up a few minutes before the game. But there was a question on the shirts on sheet C. Oh, oops. Thought I had a picture, but it's not loading. Uh-oh. We'll be back with that soon.
Good to hear from the Jersey Pinelands Curling Club. Glad you're watching. Yes, that was a good shot from Deb. Another Jersey Pinelands Club in action on sheet D. The intent here may be a corner guard. And well, it's pretty far out.
Yeah, not perfect. It's usable, but yeah, a little bit far. Only covering really the 12-foot area. A lot of rotation on this delivery here. I think it might stay pretty straight as a result. And it's currently going out to the sides.
Sweeping it in hopes of seeing it curl at some point. And as it slows down, it's going to curl a little bit. You never know with a high rotation shot. It can just do strange things on you, and that one seems to have just planted itself as a wide corner guard. No rods in the house yet.
It's taking a chance to go underneath the wide corner guard that they threw. Knowing that it is still usable. And the line is quite good on this draw. Just needs to wait.
curlers represent, say our friend from Jersey Pinelands. Potomac was an arena club for about 3 decades, I think, from '61 till sometime in the '90s.
Before my time, I'm afraid. But this facility we're in now, I think, was from around the 2000s era.
It's a pretty nice place. Of course, I'm always envious when I see curling on TV and I see space to stand between the sheets. I always feel like I'm in someone's way. This is going to tap up.
A nice shot there. Not completely buried, but covered some of it. Gonna go after it with hack weight.
Tell you, the measuring stick was used somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. I can tell you it's 2-1 now on sheet C. B's have picked one up there.
This one all over the center guard here, and it looks light as well, so probably gonna tap up into the rings.
Yeah.
Well, not what they were looking for.
But another yellow one into the house.
So now, faced with a situation that's almost so good, you almost don't know what to do. One option is just to throw another guard on top of the center, opting instead to guard the side, so there's no draw. Not a bad call either. The other yellow at the back is open, but not really a factor at the moment. Can't hit that and stay for shots, so.
Does this look a little heavy for a guard? I've been wrong on so many.
I think you're right, yeah. Looks a bit too heavy for everything. And that one's going to go right through. Yeah, just to the hack there, so an overthrow. And another chance to go after this, but guard is slightly further over this time, so there's even less space to get the shots done than before. So needs to take a little more ice, and definitely wider this time. Giving it a chance. Trying to sweep it to make it curl now.
Literally sweeping to the left of the stone as if trying to steer it, and that's just not going to.
I would have been impressed if that would have worked.
Yeah, they did say that directional sweeping can have an effect, and I believe that certainly at the pro level that's the case, but just too much to do there, so maybe just overcorrection from the last one. So now I think the guard attempt again. See we better weight this time.
Different curler this time. This is Lisa Robertson up now.
Certainly needs to curl a long way at the moment.
May end up burying around the outside corner guard.
I think that might happen.
A long way around. It might do that. No, I think it's going to.
And
you don't see that
does.
shot every day. Flirt with the sideline to curl it the long way around, and you end up with an overburied stone in there that could be useful.
So going after the shot stone again here, interesting that they might consider at this stage to play the run back on your red, because even if you don't make the run back, you peel it out and then everything's wide open. Remember red with the hammer here. So this is a difficult shot to get to the shot stone with a hack weight. And the error is, the miss is definitely to miss narrow and move the guard and open things up. And it won't be too unhappy if that happens. And in fact, maybe that is what the plan was to promote the red guard in the end.
It's going to hit a little bit to the right, but it will be a peel.
Just needed to, just kind of in between there. Still leaves the guard and doesn't remove anything. Kind of had to either sweep that more to peel it off more, or just a little bit in between. Those are very frustrating.
Yeah, in fact, that actually covers more of the rock from this angle.
Yeah, it's like completely buried now, as you say. So I think I'd be thinking definitely about straight peel on that, or it's getting late in the end. Persisting with guarding this side, and not a bad call. I would be tempted to throw another center at this stage, and sort of challenge their opponents to draw the 4-foot buried. Not easy.
This looks awfully heavy for a guard.
They, in fact, might draw the 4-foot themselves.
It certainly could, and if it sticks around.
Just a little deep.
Yeah.
About 4 yellows in there.
Yeah.
And a couple of options. You could draw yourself, or you could play the peel or the run, and I think they're going for the run. I like this. Got to open it up with a hammer here. Lots of yellow, but if you make this work, you'll at worst have everything wide open. And hopefully, if you make the run back directly, you will be shot buried.
Looks like a better effort.
I think they're not going to make the run, but they will peel off the guard, and that will be an okay result. And
out goes one of the yellows for his bonus and second shot.
Yeah.
So a pretty good outcome. Peels the guard and second shot, so
A lot better than they were a minute ago.
absolutely. With shots like that, it's always important to know that it's like multiple positive outcomes when you're playing a shot like that. And in curling, that's always very important when if you're playing a low percentage shot with no margin for error versus a shot with multiple good outcomes. So it's definitely a smart play.
All the skips are thinking here, I'm gonna. Oh, nope, it still doesn't work. Still not getting my picture to show. What is going on there? Got our Jersey Pinelands picture showing, but we're not getting our.
Had a
Team
neat little
O'Connor.
hug there between Butts County people on B and A.
So most likely you'll see center guard thrown here, try and protect. But a little bit of risk suddenly now. You need to make a good guard, or you could be giving up 2 out of nowhere. So a little bit of pressure suddenly. Not tempted to go after the red stone. It is actually mostly buried under the corner. Good weight, but this looks like it could be over curling. And so suddenly I have big trouble, suddenly a chance to sit 2 with the hammer. Shows how fast things can turn around.
First of Kirchner shots up here in a second.
So now the shot stone available. Nose hit or slightly off nose would be good here. Maybe a slight roll. Could try and get underneath those guards on the left. Just don't want to flirt with any jams, but I think you've got plenty of room.
Could take out more than one, not that they necessarily need to.
So does take out the shot stone, but rolls a little too far, so not second shot, just first shot. Yellow is second at the back. And now a decision whether to try and go after any of those reds. I think they can see at least a piece of them, and the guard is long. So you can get to the shot stone with a hack weight if you want to. You may also freeze down to it as another option. Or for a single.
So while they're thinking about it, I'm going to turn the webcast controls over to Andy, and I'll be back on the next draw. Bye from Ken.
Hi, Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
Oh, and oddly enough, I can hear myself now.
For those of you who don't know, Ken is the mastermind behind our upgraded webcasting system, which is fantastic. So we put a lot of work into that, and it's excellent, very user-friendly. So we're very grateful for that.
We even have a replay possibility, which I nearly used in the last draw, but couldn't quite get around to doing it.
So it seems like the decision is to go, well, actually, I take it back because I missed the discussion. I imagine they're going to go after the shot stone, but it's also possible they ignore it and draw underneath the cover. That would be another option.
Deb Kingsland did make a little sweeping right to left motion.
Well, that would suggest the draw. It's definitely a good option if you feel comfortable drawing. You can easily get shot under cover. A good way to force. I think for me personally, I would like to take on the shot stone. I think you can see enough of it, and because you're also second shot, and it looks like that is what they're doing in the end.
Sweepers are on it right away.
If it gets past the guard, it looks good.
Yeah, I guess they weren't drawing.
Yeah, it looks like they were going after the red shot stone, but. And suddenly, potential 3 on the board here. He knows the one at the back. I think you will lie 3 if we just take a closer look at the house here. It's pretty close for third, but it looks like it would be 3 red if he knows the closer yellow. Definitely worth going after it.
Boy, the broom was being held right next to it,
Yeah.
suggesting a fair amount of weight on this.
Yeah, just taking a hair more now, but yeah, I expect a good weight. It's right at the back, so it can be deceptive. The extra 6 feet adds a lot of extra curl.
I think this may end up curling on them and missing that one at the back. But I'm wrong, because she released it farther to the right than I thought. She might actually get both of them, which would be the same result.
Just needs to sit down, and I think well, it's close. It might have sat down just in time.
Yeah.
It's definitely 1, probably 2, and maybe 3.
If she'd gotten both of them, she would have, and kept the shooter around, which would have been a tall order. That would have been 4. Well, they're not measuring.
Well, whatever it is, they're confident. I suspect it was 3, but we will wait for the confirmation.
We have a score update on sheet A, where we had 2 for Blackhawk, tying that one up at 2 apiece. And on our feature sheet, that was 3. So we have a score of 7-1 now.
Yeah, and a really solid looking performance so far from Kirchner from Bucks County.
Sheet C is kicking away rocks.
Center guard coming in. Line and weight look pretty good. Zucker's just making sure. In fact, they might want to just take a little look here. Don't know if they were trying to go in. I suppose they were with such a big lead, so take it back. Perfect stone there in the top 4. such a big lead, there's no real need to throw any guards. Just keep it clean, force the opponents to do something. So, nice draw into the top 4. And see what the plan is here. I think a guard would be the obvious call, but that stone is very close to the button, so maybe feeling a little bit concerned about leaving it there. And so it looks like they're going after it. So don't blame them. I think guard was perhaps theoretically the best call, but that rock is pretty dangerous where it is, so maybe play the takeout for now and then next time throw the guard when it's a little bit further out of the 4-foot.
Certainly effective play there from Team Kirchner to force the action into the house.
Absolutely. I'll be very happy with doing that as long as they are leading like this.
Sheet C is also tied at 2, as we've seen a steal of 1 by Bemis Bees from Chesapeake. Sheet D is still in the 3rd end. Actually, the hammer's on the way now.
And a nice solid takeout throw there from Team Kirchner. The lead player, pretty good. No trouble, nothing to be concerned about. That's what you want to see.
Seems so early in the end to be playing the hey, let's just keep the house open tactic, but
yeah, I think if I was Pinelands here, I'd be throwing a guard. Got to take a little bit of a chance here. Get some points back. Don't need to get them all back at once, but single isn't going to do it. So going for the hit for now. Maybe hoping for an error instead. And this one hanging a little bit out there. I don't think it's going to get there.
No, this one's going to flash. So do you guard the one you have in the house? Or it looks like they're calling to split it.
I think they're drawing to the open side. I think with such a big lead, the guard only helps the opponents is the thinking. You don't mind if they take a single point. So, but by guarding, you could let them freeze, draw, outcount you, undercover. So, having said that, though,
it's going to be a guard.
It's going to come up light, which is definitely not what they wanted to happen. So that is like a half error the Pinelands can take advantage of. Hit and roll under this guard. It certainly wouldn't be wrong to have guarded your shot stone, but just with such a big lead, it's not necessary. But if you were, say, in a tied game, absolutely. This one looks like it's gone. A little heavy. Not going to stick around.
Update from Sheet D. Another steal out here, and making a close game a little tighter as we had on Sheet D in the first session. That is a steal of 1 for the other Jersey Pinelands team out here, Team Sharp. They stole 1, so that is 4-2 for Butts County Team Brockman after 3 M's. This delivery for Team Kirchner seems to have a little bit of weight to it as well. Should stick around in the back of the 8. Not the worst place.
No, not too bad. Rather there than back 4, I think, where you could be frozen onto easily. So, be okay with that. may seem a little extreme, but they could have even considered peeling their own guard that they'd thrown. Perhaps not. Such a measure is not necessary yet. But it's the only stone that could really hurt them at the moment.
And they're forcing Jersey Pinelands to come into the house and hit, and that's what they're doing now.
A nice solid hit. Could have perhaps gotten a little bit more roll, but happy to remove the red and make the opponent's plate. So I think the hit and roll attempt is going to be happening here as well. Or even hit and roll away isn't terrible. At some point, your opponents will probably just draw around and ignore your stones, though.
Fair amount of weight here. Might hit to the inside and give them a roll. A little bit. Not buried or anything. In fact, does leave the double, perhaps.
Certainly available. Double. Still possible to hit and roll, even though you won't be shot if you do that, but get one under cover that can't be removed. The red in the back 8, you may have another opportunity to get at later. A nice looking throw coming in here.
Got the
Good
hit.
shot.
A little bit of a roll.
A little bit of a roll. Yellow is still available. A little bit of danger. It's very jammable. And I think the instinct is perhaps to try and get underneath it to roll under the guard, but you can also go the other way and just sort of slash it out. It might be the safer way to get it. Calling bumper weight, so suggests to me that they're trying to get to the inside, which is definitely great if you can get there.
Had to sweep to get past the guard. They will hit to the inside of it. Will they hit enough to move it significantly?
Well,
not really. That's still shot.
Yeah, it just seemed a little bit down weight. Not able to remove the yellow from the rings. It's definitely less than bumper that was thrown. So, opportunity the Pinelands were looking for. Draw a second one in here.
They could effectively freeze this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Needs to curl though. It's hanging on the left side of center line. It might just be heavy. And yeah, just a little too much. So let off the hook a little bit for Kirchner. Going to make amends by removing the yellow. Nose hit would be fine. Even rolling out wouldn't be a bad result.
Would be line 3 with this shot. Left-handed delivery here, so keep it out to the side where her hand is. That's why I tend not to use the terms in turn and out turn. I try to say clockwise and counterclockwise because otherwise I confuse myself. Is this going to make contact? Barely, but enough. Pretty thin, just avoided any other red, but had enough weight to remove things. Not line 3, because shooter went way out, but
Yeah, I would think they'll be satisfied with that.
it is going to be very difficult for Jersey Pinelands to score 2 from here.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
freeze seems to be the obvious shot. Also, you could simply try and straight draw underneath the guard, touch the forefoot, and be buried. There are a couple of chances to get to here, but a good shot required. Hit and roll is also possible, but if you want to bury, the draw is usually a bit easier. Got a bit more control. But got to get something in there.
The call certainly looks to be either freezing or just getting it behind guard. Both sweepers on it now. Don't think it's going to curl enough for either the freeze or getting under guard. Nice draw to the button, but perhaps not the right time to draw to the button.
Yeah, really nice for weight, just doesn't quite have the line. So it's accessible. A little bit of care required. Can't hit it high side, but definitely available to be removed. But at least good practice for the draw that you may well have to throw on your last.
Really just needs to make contact and avoid the jam, and then the force should be on. It is going to hit to the inside of it and move it, and this looks like a lovely shot.
Just gets it out, but job done, good shot. And now draw against 3.
Yeah. Gotta have the weight this time.
Yeah, at least they just threw a very similar shot, so hopefully it'll be close. Just gotta sort of repeat that. And it's always nice to have made something similar recently, sort of have that muscle memory.
She did well with a similar shot in the first end, or second end. This one lost a lot of steam midway down the ice. Sweepers are on it. I think they might want a third sweeper on it. Or a fourth. So that's a steal of 3.
Oof. And it's already pretty insurmountable. Might see whether they decide to carry on. It looks like they will. Might as well get some more practice in, but pretty tough to come back from that deficit.
Nice graphic we hear. The person to thank for all of our graphics would be the wizard of the webcast, Ken Clark, who has departed us for now. We'll be back later today.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job with the system. Top of your screen, you can see the scores on all the sheets going on right now.
Did get an update from sheet A. That was a score of 1, in fact, a steal of 1 for Blackhawk. Take a 3-2 lead. Our sheet C and D games are still in the 4th end.
So going in the house again here, or at least intending to. And we'll get in there, so nice, good shot. Very, very solid lead play from Kirchner.
Indeed, that is Mary Fannin, unless they've changed their lineup on us, as teams intend to do. But Andy would never do that to us. I actually did webcast at least one of Andy's games in the Embassy Row.
And did we change our order?
I don't think you did. I think you had it right.
We did switch around a little bit at that event, so I apologize for that.
Actually, I can verify that is Mary Fannin because I just saw her name tag.
Well, throwing very well in this morning's game. Not a lot of mistakes. Stone's going exactly where you want them. That's exactly what you want, and it makes a huge difference. Often underestimated when you're just starting out curling. Underestimate how important the lead stones are. But getting those first 2 in good spots, it really sets up the whole rest of the end. It's hugely important. So probably just going in again here. Let's put another one basically on top of the first one. Don't really want a guard.
No, the sweepers are on it just for that reason. Now they're off, and it's like Mary wants this to go a little bit to the left, or maybe she's saying it's too far to the left. I don't know. This looks like another good shot. I think she might have the best weight on this sheet that we've seen today.
Yeah, very consistent, and able to throw the same shot twice, and that's always well, they say that's the easiest shot in curling, right? But of course, it's definitely not.
Right.
And but it's definitely consistency is the key, and so double is available if they choose. Can get rid of both of those. Although you may actually want to keep some of the reds around to try and help you set up a multiple score.
On sheet C, incidentally, Team O'Connor is line 1, is about to have a draw for 2. There's not a particularly large scoring area. She needs to get maybe half of the 4 foot or a third of the 4 foot. She's already got 1 in there.
So it moves the reds around. It may not look that great because they didn't remove the reds, but I actually quite like the result of that. You have 2 yellows in, and you have that red back of the 4 foot. It's not in a great place for Kirchner at all. Very usable by Pinelands. So actually a very good shot there to bump those reds around.
Looks like the intent here is to hit to the inside of that yellow and make it move. And it will. Is it going to hit the one at the back? No, it's not, but out of play, that's fine.
Yeah, an excellent shot. But there's definitely scope for making something happen with these reds. I know, of course, it looks pretty grim with 3 reds in there, but you can use your opponent's rocks against them. So, and that's what they're going to try and do, draw underneath, freeze to the back one. This one still over curling. It will be in the ring somewhere, but well off target. But still another stone to deal with. Right. Possibility of a mistake.
We have an update from D. That is a score of something for Butts County. That is a score of 4. That's their second score of 4 today for Butts County and Team Brockman. They lead 8-2. And the yellow one's going that was just thrown is going to disappear. And will the red one stick around somewhere? It will. And that is a gaggle of red right there around the button.
That's exactly what it is. I might even say a guddle of red where I come from.
Or would it be a murder, like a murder of crows? A murder of red?
I hope not. It's a little too violent for curling.
One of Sting's better metaphors. Black like a murder of crows. Appears to be trying to draw now to what's left of the 4-foot. Could always freeze one in there.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be a great shot if they get there, and it's pretty close.
I don't think it's going to.
It's just going to tap off, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right past even. Okay, well, thought it would at least hit the red there, but so nothing left to do here for Kirchner except stack them in there.
Yeah, close off the right side, take away that freeze possibility, and then all sorts of problems for Jersey Pinelands if that happens.
Absolutely.
Might have ring around the button.
Almost have too many reds in there, even though that sounds crazy.
This one's hanging out a bit. That sweeper's on it now. It's a curl to really block off that draw path, and it's not going to. It's actually just going to, well, bye. Off it goes.
Yeah, they must have decided at some point it wasn't going anywhere good, and they just swept it straight through.
Certainly didn't want to take their own out, although it would have stuck around if it had. Probably, well, if you hit it thin, that could have been a problem.
Yeah, I wonder actually if it might have been better to clip that one to the back 4 and just move it out of the way a little bit, because it is very freezable.
And that's probably what we're seeing now. Another attempt from Jersey Pinelands, Lisa Robertson taking a shot at it now. This one looks like it's hanging out wide too. The Jersey Pinelands person have to tell me, on your arena ice, do you get a lot of curl? Actually, this is curling a lot. In fact, it's curling as if it, curling not as much, well, it came up light, so that might be wide. So now it's guarding a lot of the reds, or at least guarding the path around it. It's going to make it freeze very difficult. So as red, what do you do now? They're coming around the other side. Are they just going to guard their gaggle or guggle or flock, constellation, galaxy?
They're probably just going to, I think they're probably going to just keep putting them in there. Just draw top 8, top 4. Just keep them all in the house. It would be tempting to actually have peeled that yellow guard that was thrown, but maybe not even necessary.
And they're going to tap one of theirs even closer.
Yeah, I think they're just happy to just put them in there.
So what would be the reason to peel the yellow guard?
So the yellow guard is one of the only stones that's helping Pinelands right now. You could actually draw underneath that, sort of half frozen to that back red that we've been looking at, and it would not be very easy to remove if you got to exactly the right spot. So that would be a reason to peel it out.
This is obviously not a draw.
Yes.
Well, a double takeout.
Pretty good shot there.
Yeah, it was.
Clearly deciding that the time has come to bail. So many reds. Just have to get them all moving, and a really good shot to do so. still lying 3 red, so
It does appear that Christy Kirchner wants to get rid of the yellow, or at least one of them. The one that is fourth shot, well, that's quite a luxury to be going after a fourth shot with the first of your skip rocks.
absolutely. I'll be pretty happy with how they're sitting right now.
Last winter we had a one night a month of curling. Oh my goodness. New arena to get Monday and Saturday nights each week routinely. Oh, that's very nice.
2 nights a week is much better.
Yes.
Once a month, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It does not scratch the curling itch enough. Just once a month.
That is going for another sheet. Or is it? Because they do want to sweep this one hard to make contact, and they do, and out it goes. I don't think the red's going to stick around for 4, but again, that's kind of a luxury.
Yeah, no, well, they made, yep, mission accomplished. And now, not a hugely inviting situation, but still a chance to score 2. Couple of options available. Let's just take a closer look at the house here. One option would be to hit and roll off the one you're seeing on the left. Underneath would be a short raise on this red one in the top 4, but it's still a missable shot. And the other option might be a corner freeze on the one that's on the right, just behind the tee line. Anything to force your opponents to play is what you're looking for at this point. I think the hit and roll is probably the most accessible shot. Nothing too easy, unfortunately, but
Still taking a look at it as be Deb Kingsland, and I believe that's Erin Klim, her second. Taking a look at it from this end as well. I think they are going to try the hit and roll, which is not the easiest shot, but perhaps the best in the circumstances. Starts out kind of wide, but see if the weight allows this to curl in. Sweepers are on it.
yeah, it's got a lot of moving to do, though. I
It
don't
certainly does.
know if they need to be on this.
No, all they did was tap that red just slightly. Well, I think at this point, too, is certainly off the board. Unless Kirchner somehow manages to take out one or more of hers. Is this one you just consider throwing away?
You could. I mean, throwaway wouldn't be the worst. I mean, you have a couple of other things you could probably do there a little bit still useful, like just put another one there, or you could just take out the yellow on the left. It's wide open. So I think one of those shots is probably still valid and probably the best.
We'll see if I can see what turn she's using to see if this is going to be a draw, and I believe it is going to be a draw. Yes, it is. So, drawing just somewhere in the center. Because the draw to the right-hand side of the house is very difficult because there's a yellow guard there. And that would be a fairly long run back as well. So, this is going to take away the left-hand draw path. And they get fourth shot out of it. Well, what do you do now?
Another unenviable position, but there's still room to score. You can either draw on the right-hand side, the outturn side, at least the outturn for most people, not me, or that hit and roll is still available on the rock, the left of the 4 foot on the tee line. And you should be able to roll enough to score that way. Personally, I think I like the draw, but there's nothing easy here, so I think it's whatever you feel most comfortable throwing at this point.
They're looking at the left side of the house where they would need to squeeze it through a port. Probably the easier, not easy, of the 2 draw paths they have.
Yeah, it's certainly possible to draw that side still. And yeah, you can still wick off that one on the outside to get right into the 4. So, but again, unenviable position to be in.
So trying a thin, delicate weight shot here. And they have just posted the score for the for the 4th in. Do have a score update from A, but I'll wait till after this shot is gone.
The Lions definitely looks better on this one.
This has potential.
Just needs to get there. The line, no, I think it's just going to overcurl. There's a tight line they had to be on, and it is going to come out light as well.
Right.
So it's going to be another
steal of 4.
Steal of 4. Just one of those games, and they decided to call it quits.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them.
Well,
just
yeah, 14-1 your final, but hopefully good practice for our for Jersey Pinelands to get on dedicated ice for a bit. And you do have another team in action on sheet D. The update from A is that Team Rudd, the Philadelphia Butts County team, has scored 3 to go up 5-3 after 5 ends. Our other 2 games are still in the 5th end, still shooting away from us. In fact, actually just now getting to skip rots on both of those. Sheet D, unfortunately, for the person checking in from Jersey Pinelands, is the most difficult for me to see. So let's see, I'm going to try to hop around. I'm going to try to hop around a bit. Let's take a look at sheet C at the far end where, oh good, Andy left that for me. Yeah, Andy is taking a little bit of a break. I think we have the first of skip rods, or maybe the second of skip rods coming up. Let's see if I can skip ahead to where we are in this game. Okay, so 7th rock for somebody. With some nice blinking holiday lights on the hat. Have a stick delivery here for Sandy Bemis, and let's see, they all right. I think I'm up to speed on what's happening now. This is where I think this is where we are. The first of transfer Bemmy's Bees. Boy, that's out way wide. Way wide. As in flirting with the sideline wide. And yet, it's going to come in and hit the red. Unfortunately, she's not going to get shot out of that, but that was a nice wide one there. Sheet D is Jane Sharp and 3 first-year curlers. Well, that is something, you know, I'm a second year, and I have not yet had the nerve to get out for one of these fields. And I just found my water bottle. Now we have an in-depth discussion at the moment as for Team O'Connor. quite a close game here. I'm going to try and peek over to sheet D and see where we are. Okay, sheet D, Jane Sharp is about to deliver your hammer. See if I can get that for you. All right, sheet D. A second here. All right, I'm going to show you the shot on sheet D for you. This is, see if I can get the hat skip combination there. Yeah, okay, this is Jane Sharp with the hammer. I'm going to let you take another peek at the house to see what she is facing. The shot is on its way. So it's a draw for one. And it looks like a nice little draw if it hangs around. And it just does. So that it should be one for Team Sharp. Very nicely done. All right, I'm going to switch back to C now. And on C, we are now looking at the hammer for Sandy Bemis or Bemi. If you are watching from Chesapeake, please do let me know if how I'm pronouncing that. And if you are, please stop by Berlin, Maryland, and say hi to my cousins. The house I love very much, where my kids took his first steps. All right. So the shot is on the way. Going to try to see what we have there. Looks like a lot of draw potential. In fact, is anything actually in the? Well, no, there are some things in the house. And through the house, let's see if I got the house this time. And yeah, so she does pick up one out of that end. So tight game there. And let's just keep going all over the place. Let's go to sheet A. So I seem to be very much confusing our system. I'm really putting Ken's system to the test here. Unfortunately, I have no idea where we are in the end. I can't see how many rots have been played. Delivery now for Team Rudd. Scored a big 3 in the last end. This has a lot of guards to navigate, and it will not. All right, who wants to help me count the rots? Okay, so that was the 6th delivery for Team Rudd. So we should be on the 6th delivery for Red. I'm just double counting from my perspective as well, and yeah, that is what we have. I can tell you on sheets C and D, if you like center guards, well, congratulations, we have center guards. And the shot on sheet A surprised me. Andy has joined me again to help me flip around all of these. So in that delivery, basically you saw a shot just tick away and go out of play. So Deanne Rudd taking a look at her options. She's looking at a promotion there. See if we can get it from that angle.
Yeah, the angle raise for 3 if you make it. Perfect.
She would be line 3 with a couple of routes to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look at a rather pivotal. See, there's still the danger of giving up 2 here, but there have to be a lot of peels to make that happen.
Oh, beauty.
Oh, beauty.
That's an excellent shot. Great shot. Doesn't quite remove the red, but sitting 3, so fantastic. And a hint of a smile there after that one. Just satisfactory result. Excellent shot, honestly. But that yellow is still open, so.
I was trying to
Still
show a
some
replay,
chances.
but that would be a bit much. For me, so.
Well, still a few stones to go in that end, so.
Yeah, Nancy's the lead us now with the hammer, or not the hammer, but the first of her rots for Blackhawk Country Club, or curling club probably. Well, it could be a country club, but I would guess it's a curling club. I've not looked up to see where Blackhawk is from, and that's on me. I made my nice spreadsheet last night and forgot to note such things.
My memory is going to fail me, but I believe it's Midwest somewhere. Because somebody on the chat's going to correct me if I'm wrong about that.
That would make sense. Blackhawk after the Chicago Blackhawks, which made a nice run there. So perhaps Chicago area. On sheet C, we have a phalanx of guards.
I like that. A phalanx is exactly the word. Not sure who it's helping at this point.
Yep.
Tied game here, so all to play for. And red has hammer, so they're probably less happy about this situation.
Let go of that very early. I suppose to try to get all the weight she possibly could. This is back on A, Nancy Salinas.
Yeah, trying to roll in, at least remove the yellow, hanging out there. Might get a useful redirect though. And they are going to spin undercover with the redirect on the guard. Pretty sure that was not plan A, but you know, you take it when you get it. Things like that. Great result. And it's fully buried, over buried even over on sheet A. Now, having said that, there's often a lot of curl on sheet A, more than some of the other sheets, and so may still be some possibilities to at least draw down to it and maybe tap it. Oh, and a spill here on C, but didn't burn the rock, so
and back up. Very impressive skill to get back up for that.
Good avoidance work there.
A quick word on D for our Jersey Pinelands friends. They do not have hammer. They are looking at 1 in the 4-foot for yellow. So kind of a difficult situation there. Still early in that end, though.
Not sure what the decision is yet for
Team Rudd. And the third sweeper comes out. Can they get it to this red?
Not quite, but not easy to get to. So, well,
I think
could
be
maybe the nose hit is enough to get the 2 actually on the. I think it might be. So
Nose hit that yellow out in.
Yeah, exactly, right
Yeah.
next to where the vice is standing. So a piece of good fortune could give them a 2 here, which would be tie up the game.
Can they get that one on the nose?
From here, it looks like it's available. Angle's a little hard to see, but I think it's fully visible past the center line guard.
Ah, I was thinking of a different rock. Yes, that one is certainly visible.
Yes, you might not be able to see it from where you're sat because of the
there it is.
people, but there we go.
Oh, and this delivery is on the way. So
this looks like an overcurl from here. Hard to say for sure. And it's going to hit the top.
yeah.
And not a favorable bounce this time, but still a single.
Let's see where we want to go next. Let's go over to sheet D and see where we stand now.
Yeah, we're going around the rings, just like on Sportsnet.
All right, on sheet D, let's take a look at the house. You see there it is kind of favorable for yellow, especially since they have the hammer. So many guards out front, which is going to make it difficult for me to count and see where we stand in this end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This appears to be the 6th delivery for yellow.
There are 7 or 8 guards out front of the house. It's quite incredible.
And they have just managed to tap their own and lie 2 out of the 6 rots that they have delivered. Red, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see. Red has a 6 that is off to the side. So
what point does it go beyond the phalanx? Is it a legion at this point of guards?
a division or a company.
A company of guards.
If they add one more, it will be an army. All right, so they have decided here.
Hard to see how accessible these are. They look like they're pretty much buried. So, not easy to get to them with any weight.
Taking your time getting your slider all set. Sheet C, we have, I wouldn't call that a phalanx, I would call that more of a flock or a gaggle because it is a lot of it is around the center line, so there are paths around to each side.
It's not evenly distributed enough to be a phalanx because that implies some order. Right? This is a flock. I like it. Now, having said that, it does appear that yellow is still shot there. There was an attempt by red to come in and remove it, which failed.
Jane Sharp has thrown a rather upweight shot here and got past all the guards and, well, unfortunately got past the yellows as well. That was not a bad effort.
Yeah, it just seemed like a little bit too much weight for the situation. Not going to get the curl it needed.
And it's hard for us to tell from this angle whether they can really get to them. The yellow ones in the house you can see are to the, as you're looking at to the left of the center line, there is a yellow guard, a long yellow guard also to the left of the center line. You can see it there. So you can see she has to go between. Yeah, when are we going to get a telestrator on this? Let's get.
Yeah,
let's
that'd be.
bring,
Yeah.
bring Ken over here.
Oh, I bet he's working on it.
Yeah, that's right. JPCC, I believe, appears to be bowing out. Well, thanks for so much for tuning in, and tune in for the rest of the weekend. And somebody will be here. Have a delivery from Amanda Brockman on the way already. I don't know if they are drawing, perhaps.
Possibly just a tight guard, although it looks like it might come in a little deep for that. No,
Right.
maybe it's good for the guard.
Yeah, just plugging up that draw path even more. I believe we are to the point where this is a division or a company.
And 2 yellow currently sitting with a big lead already. And yellow also has hammer, so only 1 redstone remaining in this end, and only maybe some kind of double raise available to do anything. The way the guards are set up, it's hard to see a clear raise opportunity. So looking good to get at least a couple of yellows in this end. And that opened up an even larger lead. We might see handshakes on D soon if that's the case.
Then we would flip over quickly to C, which is wrapping up. The last of the rods from Team O'Connor is on the way. This is 3-3. They're around all these guards. And I'm sorry I can't just switch so quickly, and I don't want to leave what's going on sheet D right now. So Team O'Connor trying to get rid of the 1 yellow that is in the house, and no, they had flashes past. So yellow, Benny's Bees will have a draw for 2. You may have heard the word sweep from Jane Sharp. Is she trying to promote one of her own?
Yeah, it was hard to see. It must have been, but just very difficult. And not successful. So 1 more yellow to come, and guaranteed at least 2. Don't really see a lot of opportunities. Wouldn't be totally surprised to see them throw it away, but maybe they can see something.
I think there is a draw path to the right of the camera, the left as you and I are looking at it. From our angle, it looks impossible. From the camera, it doesn't quite look as bad.
It could be, yeah. There might be a path in there. Doesn't seem to be what they're lining up for. Maybe they're looking at raising one of their yellow guards instead.
Certainly does seem that way.
Maybe the one that was thrown on the previous shot is accessible for a raise.
I don't think they can hurt much because I don't think there's really much of a chance of bumping a red in there anywhere.
Yeah, mostly yellows at the front, so definitely agree. And they're on one of them. And
bonk.
And
oh my, this is looking like a very good shot.
And it doesn't quite.
Oh, it doesn't get there. I thought it was hit a little harder than that, but that is going to be 2 for yellow and Team Brockman. All right. And we have just enough time to check sheet C. I think.
Just about.
That's not where it went.
Oh,
there it goes.
We go.
Resetting.
This is the hammer on C coming in. Tied game. 1 yellow in the house. Needs to touch the 8 foot to score. Wait, looks quite good. It just needs to.
It's past the guard.
Get into the 8 foot, and it's close.
Okay, then stop.
And I think they might have it. Yeah, great shot. Not easy. A nice solid draw there for the single. Way out wide. Not easy. You don't throw a lot out there. So, well played.
All right, 1 for Team O'Connor.
And we do have handshakes on D as we anticipated. And so 2 games remaining. currently following the game on sheet C. And the game on sheet A also continues between Blackhawk and Team Red.
I think I'll switch to A.
Yeah, almost at the end of the 7th on A, so let's take a look at that.
And what's nice about using the cameras is we can actually see the far house, which we really cannot see from, from our viewing position.
Yeah, so there's a shot stone red back 8. Hammer belongs to yellow, and this is the last of the vice stones coming up. And so a lot of yellows out front, however, at least 3 accessible tight guards that are raisable, and I expect to see one of those raised imminently. And you can hear the weight call for back line there from the sheet we're watching. So it sounds like raise is what they're after. Hoping to make contact with the red perhaps, or maybe just straight tap to the T-line area. You lose a few feet of weight when you tap the rocks usually. It's not perfect contact.
Considerable amount of weight here.
It might be a little too much. Well, we'll see. Hopefully at least open things up a bit. And, well, that was pretty perfect. So, well, fantastic shot. It's a little more than back line, as you can tell, because they removed the red completely, but I think they'll be just fine with that. And a bit of a mess for Blackhawk to look at here. Not really any usable red stones out front. It's all yellow. There's one solitary red, but it's staggered and not really accessible.
No, it's stuck between.
So
yeah,
could be, although without the hammer, you might just need to peel here and then hope you have a better opportunity on your last.
and get rid of as much as possible in there.
Absolutely.
Now they've taken a good long look at that.
And there looks like they are going very wide, so maybe just a draw. Hard to see that they could get into the 4-foot from that angle, but maybe they can. It looks quite difficult from where we're sitting. Got to touch the 4-foot to get shot position. I don't know if they have something else in mind. There is, played on this sheet recently, and there is a lot of curl on this side of the sheet, the side away from the wall. So it's possible to do, maybe. We'll see. Stone's coming in. It looks quite heavy from here. But the line looks pretty good if the weight's right. And just passed, and just a little too heavy.
Yeah, it's not going to sit.
I think they could have got there with the perfect weight. It's really good effort. But at least there is a red stone in there now. So I expect to see another raise, perhaps the center line yellow is the most accessible to be raised directly back. A score of 2 would be quite big here in the 7th. Interestingly, now looking at the longer raise, this one that they actually, basically the same shot they had done previously, instead of the ones closer to the house.
They certainly don't need to angle it. They can just tap it straight into the 8-foot. No need to get that in in toward the 4-foot.
Yeah, interesting choice of raids. All else being equal, the ones closer to the house are usually easier just because there's a shorter distance to raise them. But perhaps they're worried about exposing their existing yellow. They don't want to risk that. This might be a good reason to go after this one instead.
Right, you see the call is fairly wide to the left along the wall, which for those of us who play here is often kind of a scary shot. Depending on the weather. It's worse when it's very warm.
Yeah, it tends to be some fall towards the wall here on this sheet. It's a little bit unpredictable. So you might find that this stays very straight. Does not curl away from the wall very easily. So in fact, they may be going right around. The question is whether they can stay for second shot. And it looks like they can. If it slows down, maybe just a little heavy.
Yeah, I think it's a little too heavy for that. Yeah, that's not going to be there, but still not a bad situation for.
Absolutely.
They
I think they did just show their opponents that that line is there, though, for the draw, and they're going to try it themselves. Maybe easier than the one that they had tried on the outturn side.
So we have a close game on sheet C as well. We'll get to in a bit, but this is a compelling 7th end on sheet A.
So draw attempt coming here on the same side. And that looks like it is actually going to go to the wall there, just a little bit inside out, and can't afford to do that on this side of the sheet.
That has to have made contact.
Somehow that didn't make contact with the wall. I don't quite understand how, but anyway, it comes up short.
Well, it cut off the draw path. If they wanted to try that one again, I'm not sure they did.
It's one of those that the wall can make you look pretty silly. Probably just turned it a little bit inside out with the throw, but it's so unforgiving on that side of the sheet that it looked way worse than it really was. But
now, do you try to draw around the other side now? All you need is the 8-foot.
I think in this case, as the hammer, I think one of the raises is definitely the shot. I think the choice is yours, which of the yellow guards you want to raise, but...
Well, they won't leave anything exposed at this point, so...
Exactly, so...
Center line seems...
Yeah, one of the two, either side of center line, well, there's three, I suppose.
Yeah.
Definitely very raisable. I think that's the shot, so I think that's what they're going to do.
As Rocky's manager said when he saw 3 guys out there, hit the one in the middle.
And in this case, I think that would be good advice. Good chance for 2. I mean, in theory, you could play it for 3, but I suspect they will just play it quiet for 2. Don't need to take any risks. Already with a 1-point lead, so.
A little bit of weight at this one.
Yeah, a little bit more than I anticipated, but maybe the sheet is not playing that quickly.
No, this has to curl depending on which one she wants to hit.
Yeah, sort of in between, but it might be good enough. Yeah, just gets it in there, so good shot. Didn't curl up quite as much as they thought, but
good shot for 2.
Good shot indeed. So pretty solid lead going into the 8th there. And they will continue.
All right, switching to sheet C. As we make ourselves a little bit dizzy. All right, this is the last of the Vice-Rots. That's the Vice-Rots before the Nice bees.
Oh, a nice tap
Nice
up there if
little
it's got the
raise.
legs.
And is it going to be shot? Is it? Yes. Yes, it is.
Fantastic raise there. Very tight game. We're into the skip stones. In fact, perhaps I misunderstood who threw that. Was it yellow or was it red? No, it was yellow. Yes.
That was yellow. Yes, I
Yeah.
have not switched to our Nets view yet.
I could not see the other red rock here at our end. So
Yeah.
that was the last of the vice stones. Now we're on to skip stones. Yellow has the hammer. Seeing one now. And not quite a phalanx, but a let's say set of guards out front. A patrol of guards, maybe.
patrol?
A squad. Or is a squad just a phalanx?
I think a phalanx implies more than a squad.
So it looks like trying to draw around the left-hand side, or as they're seeing it. But looks like an overcurl. May be able to raise their own.
Certainly could. And that is a pretty good result.
Yeah, fantastic.
Battle
result.
of raises here on sheet C.
And it's fully buried as well behind two centerline guards. So very difficult to get at. And quite late in the end for Peel, so tricky situation here.
The broom is all the way out where the guards are. So
Yeah, unclear exactly what the shot. It could just be straight draw. Try and get down to that. There's a port, but it's not huge.
let's see why we don't have a close-up so you can see the flashing lights on Sandy Venice's Santa hat. Very festive. And interestingly, she does a stick delivery while sliding on one foot. I don't think I've seen that.
I don't think I have either. I admire that you got the stability for that. Don't think I could do that.
Oh.
It looks like raising the yellow. It's a nice call. Just not quite the right angle though. But it will actually go past the red.
My
I take it
goodness.
back. Perfect angle.
What an end we're watching here.
3 amazing raises in a row. Fantastic. And might be able to see a piece of that. Hard to tell from where we're sitting.
Switch back to the hack so you could try to catch the joy on Team Venice's
She's very
face
happy
there.
with that. And
Yeah.
so she should be.
And why not?
And
So our team from Chesapeake doing well here.
and it looks like they think they can see enough to go after it. Looks like a piece of it should be available, but not a lot. Meanwhile, over on A, Blackhawk 3 down, trying to concoct some points. They have got a couple of guards in play, but so far they are being cleared out pretty efficiently by Team Rudd. And so we'll keep you updated as that one goes.
Delivery now from Martha O'Connor. Her last in this end.
So they swept it very hard out of her hand, but then off. So I think maybe a misjudgment there. Just drifted out.
Oh, that right on a yellow guard. So, can you get 2 out of this?
Well, I would have said no a minute ago. It's maybe you can draw to enough of the 4 foot to get a second counter. It's close.
Certainly can't do it to the left side. You'd have to go to the right. And yeah, we actually have a bit of a view of that sheet from where we are. In fact, where I'm sitting right now, I can see. And I think the right side of the 4 foot is there. You stop it essentially at the intersection of the 4 foot and the tee line.
Right. I think there's room. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty precise, but you can get there. Seems like the best shot, best opportunity. I don't see any way of moving the red top 4, so.
No, there's no way to do that. There's certainly nothing left to raise, which is unfortunate because after seeing all the wonderful raises we've seen.
They've raised them all. There's nothing left.
I know. Yes, they have.
Meanwhile, more appeals coming in for Team Red on sheet A. Did stick that one there in place though, so a couple of chances left for Blackhawk to draw.
Yeah, the house clear though. We're halfway through that end.
Yes, really got to get some reds buried now.
Yeah. There are places to hide.
So now we'll see. It's the draw attempt.
And again, you see the scooting along on 1 foot, which boggles my mind. I can hardly do that when I'm sweeping. Oh, I don't even do that when I'm sweeping.
No, I wonder if you get a better feel for the weight when you do that. Maybe you have more sense of the weight you're throwing for a draw. Looks pretty close. Maybe just a hair light.
Can it get there? Oh,
not quite. Good try.
Quite an effort.
So they will tie it up after 7. So fascinating conclusion to this game coming.
We will hop back over to sheet A.
Yeah, where it looks like it's almost all over. Only 2 reds remaining and nothing in the house. And 3 required, so unless something unusual happens, this game is going to be over.
Well, I think this is their 3rd to last. No.
Well, maybe I missed one, but
I think it is their 3rd to last.
Yeah, so just another peel coming here. Get rid of the reds. That's just fine. And there are 3 reds left, I apologize. So still in the game, but got to bury something now.
All right. And I believe we're going to see a more conventional stick delivery. Saying 3 guard? Or is that, no, that must be on the other sheet.
I heard it too, and if it's a 3 guard, that is not good news because they need it in the house, which they will get it there, but it's going to be wide open.
Yeah.
So simple takeout here to end the game coming up. Not to jinx it or anything, but it is wide open. Should be fairly straightforward. Should be a pretty straight part of the sheet as well, so wouldn't expect anything crazy to happen. Just hit the broom and should take care of itself.
All right, here is our delivery. All right, a fair amount of weight. Is this, I was going to say, is it too far to the side of the center line? But no, I don't think it is. I think this is going to do it. And we'll shake hands there. Right out of rods. And back to our only remaining game, and this one is tied. there go our cameras. Okay. Try to catch you up here in a second on where we stand in the end. Actually, fairly early. Yeah, in fact, we are still on. This is the last of the lead rocks. All right. Now, the last of the lead rods there, that was from Allison Ebner, adding to our wall. We'll just call it a wall there. No need to get any fancier than that. All right, let's see. Where we stand here. Looks like yet another guard. They got 3 people sweeping it to get every last little bit of whatever they want out of that. Hey, Mindy, how are you today? Hope you have enjoyed what you have seen so far. As I try to catch up here, I was over moving some stuff. Sorry about that. First of our seconds rods on the way, and that is, in the words of Lloyd Bridges in Airplane, it's coming right for us because I am pretty much behind the wall, trying to wave so you can see me, and not really. Okay. You can see the call there. Looks like it's going to be a draw. And she's going so quickly that I can't even show you her name. That is Kelly Allyward. Be how you'd say that. Feeling glamorous, says Mindy. Where are you? Okay, this one not as heavy as the last one from Team O'Connor, but perhaps a bit deeper than they wanted, especially considering they do not have hammer. Show you the overhead. All right, Stephanie Johnson up now. This one is hanging. Hanging like a new Lelouch curveball. And there it goes. So, maybe an opportunity now for Bemis Bees or Bemis Bees. Again, someone please tell me. At home, living the professional writer's life. You and I will have to talk about that, Mindy, at some point. I am also a professional writer, or at least I used to get paid. In fact, I have a book out, Why the U.S. Men Will Never Win the World Cup, and that's all the plugging I'm going to do for that. As we see Kathy Jones now for Bemis Bees. Kathy, I think we've seen here at other bonspiels. I remember the name. Sweep. Okay. I think they want this to stop. Okay, well, it becomes, a bit unlucky there because they did leave a port for the draw. If that rock that was just thrown had not gotten such a bounce off of that rock, that surprises me a little bit that it did that. Let's hide the scoreboard so you can see Lindsay Postillon, I believe. I should have asked them for pronunciations between games, but as you may recall, I had no time between games. We should have time between games this time, not much, but a little bit. It's pretty safe to say this will not go to Skip Rocks unless they inadvertently blank. Draw attempt there, way too heavy. So off that goes. So what would Bemmy's Bees have up their sleeves right now? And it looks like she wants to plug that port. There's Kathy Jones. Plug that port. Plug that port. That is the goal here. Of course, they're going to leave the other side of the house open if this gets there. If this gets there, okay, it's over the hog line. And yeah, that should do it. Okay, so I think that end of the ice is settled, and of course no promotion possibilities there for red. Oh boy, the call went up immediately. Lindsay Postillon delivering now. All right, let's see where this is going in. I don't think this is going to get, in fact, this may be very bad because it may add an additional obstacle toward where they need to get, which is to draw around that side. And in fact, now, looks like Bemmy's Bees could be walking things out there. Mindy will be in the kitchen on Sunday at 7 a.m. I will be right back here Sunday. I don't know about 7 a.m., Mindy. But I will be here as well. So you can see where the broom is. I would almost hold that broom on sheet D. I think if guard here is good, basically anything that is 12 foot or farther out would be perfect here. As you can see, the sliding stick delivery, which again I have never seen, and I play with a lot of stick curlers because again I'm a professional rider, so I'm here on Wednesday mornings a lot when people who are more gainfully employed cannot be here. This is going to wreck on the guard and make it just slightly more difficult. No, actually not even slightly more difficult. Takes away, I was going to say takes away a raise attempt, but I don't see much of a raise. There is a raise on the center line for red, but I don't think they're going to try that. It looks from where the broom is for Team O'Connor that this is going to go around, and if they can get around and buried, that would be perfect. But never let the perfect be the enemy of the good, so actually around and in the 8 foot would be just fine too.
Almost. She's good. She's good.
All right. This is coming in. You'll see it in your screen in a little bit. They're giving the universal sign for whoa. And I don't think the rock is listening. Although it's going to be a bit of sweeping for Kathy Jones. A bit of sweeping. Oh, yes, she got it. All right. They're playing very quickly as if they know that people are in here waiting for their waiting for the next draw. I think everyone's being patient right here. We've got 12 minutes till the next draw. No, actually 14 minutes till the next draw is scheduled, depending on whether you go by the clock in or the other clock on my computer. Well, this is heavier. That's a good view to show you where they're trying to get it. And I think this is shaping up to be a very good shot. Yeah. All right, so now they're starting to take a look at this promoting on the center line. They're taking a good long look at that because the draw path on the left of the house is looking very difficult. Not that it's an easy raise. They have to get the weight pretty much just right. You get full 8 foot close to the 4. Yep, that's the call. All right, this, your last delivery of the noon session here at the Mid-Atlantic Women's Bonspiel, and thank you for joining us today. Had some very good gains this one. Really quite interesting. Martha O'Connor delivering the last. I'm gonna show this one. Okay. Oh, they're making a good run at it. Oh, the line was there, the weight was not. It is a final for Bemmy's Bees with the steal of 1. So I'm going to leave your scores up just for a little bit. I can't take too much time because the Nets crew is going to be coming in here. Not entirely sure who that is. So again, a very exciting bit of few games here. Jersey Pinelands hopefully got some experience. They play on arena ice and they don't get much an opportunity to play. But Jersey Pinelands and Team Sharp, a couple of good deliveries to hang their hat on. The one for Jersey Pinelands is a very good shot. Sheet A, pretty good battle between Blackhawk and Team Rudd. And again, here on Sheet C, the 7th in was just this wonderful battle of raises. It was hard to imagine how many good shots there were in that. And then Bemmy's Bees just managed to do enough to make things work there at the end. So I'm going to sign off now. Nice round of applause for a very well played game. So, and Bemmy's Bees getting their picture taken by Ken Clark for their next appearance here. All right, so this is Bo Dewar signing off for the noon session. We do have a 2:30 session, so please come back to Potomac Curling Club YouTube page and check with us again for that one. And I will see you Sunday for our finals. But don't wait for me. Please stick around and watch a great weekend.